Smokes, I feel like I'm everywhere, right? Streaming live on Instagram, streaming live on Facebook. Let me turn this around so we can actually see the mat. There we go. That's much, much better, isn't it? All right. Good. I am Diane Bondi, for those of you who don't know me. And for those of you joining us live on Instagram, you're actually seeing Jackie as well. Jackie will be doing a practice on the chair. I'll be doing an adaptable practice on the mat. I'm going to grab myself 2 blocks to start. I always like to have a strap and a bolster, so I'll have my bolster off to the side here just in case we need it. This is an infinity strap. I'm going to answer a couple questions here because I know I'm going to get them. Where did I get my striped tights from? People are going to ask me, so I'm just going to answer. These are from the Gap, and they're currently on sale. I think I bought them for like $20 Canadian on the Gap, which is like, what, $16, $17 US. So of course I bought them in every color they had. So I'm just putting that out there because I know somebody's going to ask me about them. So we'll get ready. We'll get started in about a minute or so. So you're following Jackie. If you're on Instagram, you're following Jackie for the chair practice. Jackie, will you be recording the chair practice?
Can I record this from this?
I think you might be able to save it as a video. So if you save it as a video when it says share, you know at the end where it says share to post or save, just save it and then you can just upload it.
Okay. I can do that when I'm on live, but I think because I'm on yours, I'm not sure that I can do that.
Oh, okay, that's right too. Okay, for sure. I'll see if I can do it as well. But we're everywhere. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and we're on Instagram. Holy smokes, do I feel important. All right, let's start by laying on our back. So that's going to be the first part of our practice. It's just to come to laying on the back. We're going to do a little breath work. And Jackie, you're going to just chime in whenever you need to say whatever you need to say or do whatever you need to do. Don't be afraid just to say, and then there's this, in case I forget.
So I'm just starting sitting in a chair. I've got a blanket underneath me. My feet are grounding into the floor. If it's a little, if you've got short legs like I do, sometimes putting a block or a bolster underneath your feet helps you to feel more grounded and centered in the chair. And so just grounding in the sits bones and lengthening the spine.
Nice. So those of us laying on the floor, if you want to place a blanket, bolster, or blocks underneath your knees, bringing your hands to your belly. Let's take a few breaths here and just sink into the mat and relax. I'm going to bring my hands to my belly, one on my belly, one on my chest, and I'm going to observe my inhale. So inhaling in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth with a ha sound. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. And I want you to do that a few times. Inhale, exhale. And now close the lips and let the breath come through the nose only, and maybe slide your hands down to your belly. Deep, slow breaths. And as you're moving through the practice today, I want you to remember to make sure that the breaths are deep and slow as they are now, right? So that if you feel the breath catching in your throat or you're struggling, that's your body's way of telling you to back off. And now let's go ahead and plant our feet flat on the mat, and we're going to move into a bridge pose. So walking the heels as close to the bottom as possible, tucking the shoulder blades underneath you, grabbing the outer edges of your mat, and then lifting your hips to the sky. And then Jackie will tell you what the pose is on the chair.
So we're activating the core here. So I'm grounding my sits bones into the seat of the chair. And I'm going to lift one leg at a time. Maybe I move onto the chair. And just take a few breaths. If that's too intense, let your feet rest on a block.
Beautiful. And in bridge pose, we're just lifting and lowering at the measure of our breath. So as we Exhale, you could lift, and as we inhale, you could lower, or vice versa. Do what makes the most sense in your body.
So inhale, lower the feet to the floor. Exhale, draw the knees up.
Good. And now lowering all the way down, coming back to our center pose. Let's gently draw alternate knees into the chest. We're going to bring our right knee into our chest, maybe forehead up to the knee, release, and then alternate, second side. Good. We'll do one more each side. Just beginning to warm up the back, which is always my drama. My back always likes to tell me stories. And then let's take the right toes, right ankle, cross it over the left knee into a figure four pose. You can bring your hands down by your sides and rest here, or you can allow that left knee to come into the chest and hold the top leg, or if it's available to you, you can grab the back of the right thigh or slide your strap around the back of your left thigh. Up to you.
Bring the right ankle to the left side. If that's enough, stay there. But take a gentle forward fold for a little bit of a deeper sensation.
And release when you're ready. And let's change sides. So choose your option. You can stay here for first option, hanging out. Second option, draw in, hold the top leg. Third option, bind, however you would bind on the right leg. Strap, arms, whatever works for you. Beautiful. Plant both feet down onto the earth. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide, hands back to the belly, and we'll come back to your breath. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely.
I'm bringing both feet, soles together on a block, letting knees fall apart. If it's not enough, you can always add more blocks. Lift your tailbone a little bit higher. Let gravity do the work here.
And then hands can come to the outer knees, draw the knees together. And now let's float the arms out into cactus or T, and gently bring the knees into the chest, and let the knees fall to one side, right or left, it doesn't matter, whichever feels most intuitive or organic. Gaze can be toward the ceiling or over to the opposite side, the opposite direction of the knees.
So I'm just taking a little bit of a straddle in the corner of the chair, using the back of the chair, having a twist this way.
And then inhale back through center, exhale, knees moving over to the opposite side. In my case, my knees are going to the right. Your gaze can be straight up toward the ceiling or in the opposite direction of your knees. Good. Let's inhale back through center, and let's take a happy baby pose. So you either hold the top of your knees, knees wide. You can hold the back of your thighs with the toes or the soles of the feet pressing up toward the ceiling. Or if it's available to you, you can grab the outer edges of the feet and gently rock side to side.
So I put my blocks on the medium setting. You can put them as high or low as you like. Put the feet on the blocks, feet widen apart, and then just bend forward and grab for the feet. You can just take a sway motion from side to side.
And now bringing the soles of the feet back together, let them hover pressing the low back into the floor, opening the knees wide, a little bit of hip love here. And releasing back to the floor. Let's roll over onto your favorite side and make your way up to a seated pose. So whatever seat looks good for you, I'm going to sit up on a meditation cushion. You can certainly sit up on blocks, blanket, whatever you need. I always recommend, if you are operating in a abundant body, that you sit up on a block, a bolster, or a blanket, because often you kind of dump into your low back here. We tend to have a little more flexible back, so you want to support your hips so your knees can descend down. Sit up nice and tall. Now, if this isn't comfortable for you, stretch your legs out, come to kneeling, work with whatever works for you. And now curl the shoulder blades onto the back, lift the heart, and lift down to the crown of the head. On your next breath, let's take our left hand to our right knee, right fingertips either to your meditation cushion block or to the floor, and pressing down through the sit bones, twist from beneath the rib cage, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale back through center. Let's do the second side. Right hand to left knee, left fingertips behind you, and twist. You can look to Jackie for the variations on the chair if you're on Instagram. We'll post that video later today if you're not. Inhale back through center. Let's bring our fingertips down to the floor. So take your peace fingers, touch the floor so you can get grounded. Curl your shoulder blades back. Inhale, swoop the arms high to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands through heart center. Inhale, reach up. And now lace the fingertips together. Release the index fingers to the sky. And then lean to the right. Back through center. And lean to the left. Back through center, reach all the way up. And now sweep the arms behind you, lace the fingertips together, open the front of the chest as you pull the shoulders back and you open the throat. Beautiful. And release. We're going to make our way onto our hands and knees for a little bit of cat-cow. So I'm padding my knees. I have a light format and they have these really great little pads. So I'm going to go ahead and pad your knees. A blanket will work here, a bolster will work here. So taking your hands out nice and wide, knees out as wide as your hips. Press either the tops of your feet down or curl your toes under. And then we'll just do whatever feels good. So pushing the floor away from you, rounding the back for cat, Halloween cat, softening the belly down, lifting the gaze up for cow.
You have two options here. You can stay seated in the chair, lifting the tailbone on the inhale and rounding the spine on the exhale. Or if you want to try this, you can stand up with your hands on the chair and go through cat-cow this way. It's a nice protection for the knees.
Beautiful. Let's do 4 more. Three. And 2. You can either stay here in flat back, or we can make our way to our first down dog. Toes curled under, fingertips spread wide. We're going to walk our hand up, one handprint forward, curling the toes under, lifting the hips up and back into a big inverted V. Pressing weight down through the heels, looking back toward the toes. You can also stay in tabletop position if you like here. And then let's take our feet out wide and walk our hands back toward our feet, and we're going to make our way to a forward fold. Bend generously in the knees. Good. Inhale, sweep your arms high to the sky, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center, and we're going to walk to the top of our mat. We're going to move through a little bit of Vinyasa. Lift and spread your toes, root down through your feet. Equal distance in both feet here, palms turned forward. Let's inhale, sweep our arms high to the sky. Lace the fingertips together and release the index fingers to the sky. Side bend to the right. Back through center, and side bend to the left. back through center, reach up, sweep the arms wide, bend the knees generously, and bring your hands either down to the seat of your chair, back of your chair, or right down to the mat or to blocks. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Let's take a giant step back with the right foot for crescent lunge. So bending into the left knee, pressing back through the right heel. Hands can stay on blocks here, or if you're feeling you're ready for a little balance, pushing down through the feet, bring your hands to your waist, curl your shoulders back, and then inhale, sweep the arms high to the sky. Right hand comes forward, left hand comes back for an open chain twist. And then let's spin. Right arm back, pivot and plant the back foot, warrior two. Hands come to the waist, turn both sets of toes to the long edge of your mat, widen your heels apart, fold forward for a wide-legged forward fold. You can grab your blocks here if you like. Inhale, half lift, look forward. Exhale and fold. Soften the knees, hands to the waist. Inhale, come up. Turn the toes out to the right and left. Goddess pose. Bring your arms out into cactus arms. Press down through the feet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back into goddess pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, goddess. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to waist. Turn the toes back to the long edge of the mat, leading with the heart fold forward. Place your hands on the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Place your right hand right underneath your nose, left hand to your waist, and take a twist to the left. Release down. Left hand to the floor, right hand to the waist, and twist. Release down. Come to your wide-legged forward fold, and then look over at your right big toe as we transition into lunge pose, moving toward the right big toe. So you're going to pivot on your feet, use your blocks here, bend into the square of your knee, hold here. This is your first option. Stay here if this feels good and right. If you need more or you want to play with balance, see if you can come up into a crescent lunge. Now left arm forward, right arm back. Open chain twist. Bend really deep into that right knee. Push out through that back heel. And then let's windmill the arms open. Pivot and plant the back foot. Adjust the feet accordingly. Warrior two. Good. Bring your hands to your waist. Turn your toes to the long edge of your mat. Leading with the collarbones, widening the heels apart. Fold forward. Inhale, let's half lift. Exhale and fold. We're going to keep moving. And now we're going to look over at our left big toe and we're going to pivot all the way around. Use your blocks. Remember here, you can lower your left knee or your right knee to the floor if you need a little bit more stability, and I'll show you on your knee. Inhale, let's reach up once you find your balance. Right arm forward, left arm back. I'm showing you the variation on your knee. And then you can spin open to warrior two. From warrior two, let's take a peaceful warrior. Bringing our right hand to the back of the right leg, left arm to the sky. And now left forearm to the top of the thigh, right arm up and over the ear. So I'm showing you the version kneeling. Bringing both hands either down to your blocks, you can either step back to cat-cow or come back to down dog. I'm going to show you the cat-cow version. If you're opting for down dog, stay in down dog for a few breaths. If you're opting for cat-cow is the order of the day. And then when you're ready, let's make our way to a forward fold. So I'm going to lift up and back into down dog on my blocks, making my arms a little bit longer. I'm going to take my feet wide and walk to the top of my mat. Folding forward. Inhale, sweep the arms high to the sky. Lace the fingertips together, release the index fingers to the sky, and let's lean to the right. Back through center, and lean to the left. Good. Back through center, reach up, stretch. Exhale, bring your hands back through center and come to standing either at the top of your mat or seated in your chair with jacks. Little time for a little wardrobe adjustment. Turn your palms forward, come into Tadasana. Let's move it, let's do that again. Inhale, let's sweep our arms high to the sky. Exhale, bending generously at the knees. Let's reach the arms straight back behind us. This is a shoulder opener I like to do. And now inhale, sit into chair pose. Reach your fingertips forward. Bring your hands to your waist. Let's take a giant step back with the right foot and take our lunge pose. So remember, I showed you the option with the knee down. And now bring your hands back to your waist. Go ahead and step back into chair pose. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, let's step back with the left leg. Now remember, hands can come to the blocks, knees can come to the floor. Remember that. Now left arm forward, right arm back. And then let's spin open slowly to a warrior two pose. Adjust your legs accordingly. Peaceful warrior. Left hand down the back of the left thigh, right arm up to the sky. And then right forearm to the top of the right thigh, left arm up and over the ear. In case you haven't noticed, this is one of my favorite flows. And now coming back to your warrior two, bring your hands to your waist. Let's pivot our toes to the long edge of the mat and fold forward, wide-legged forward fold. So the option is to stay here, enjoy your stretch. You have the option to take a twist right and left, or you have an option to do a little bit more movement where we come into Skadasana, which is another one of my favorite poses. So bending deeply into that left knee, lifting the right toes. Now this may not feel right in your body, so I'm going to invite you to stay either folded forward or maybe don't come as deep. See where I'm coming here? I'm not coming as deep. The good thing about these yoga tights are they're blackout yoga tights, so they're squat proof. Yay! And just play here with a little bit of organic movement. So if it feels good to come deep, then explore it. And if it doesn't, then don't. Please don't. Stay in your wide-legged forward fold. Jackie, what are some other options we could do in wide-legged forward fold?
So I just took turns going from side to side with one elbow in the thigh, reaching the other arm over, going from side to side. And now I'm dropping one shoulder in towards the center, and then taking the other shoulder in for a little bit of a deeper shoulder stretch.
Perfect. Good. Come back to your wide-legged forward fold when you've done both sides equally. Then take your hands to your waist, shoulder blades on your back. Inhale, come all the way up. I'm going to turn to face you just because I'm going to. Turn your toes out to the right and left. Come into goddess pose.
So when I come into goddess in the chair, I like to lift my heels so my calves are a little bit more engaged as though I were standing, and bring my knees up higher.
Nice. Perfect. And if you want your goddess to have a little dynamic movement, you can sit down, reach up. You can play with goddess however it feels good. Good. Staying in goddess, taking a few moments to breathe, sinking down into the hips. We're going to be here for 5 breaths. Good. When you come to your 5th breath, straighten out through your legs, heel toe your feet together, and come to the top of your mat. You can shake everything out if you feel a little fatigue in your legs. That's normal. That's okay. Turn the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades together, turn the palms forward. Inhale, sweep the arms high to the sky. Release the fingertips up, index fingers, and then lean to the right. Back through center, and then lean to the left. Back through center, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend deeply at the knees and fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. I'm going to flatten my blocks and step back to down dog. You have the option to step back to tabletop or child's pose or puppy pose. So you can step all the way back. So this is down dog. Puppy pose is knees down, butt up a little bit this way. Child's pose are big toes together, bottom right towards your heels, forehead toward the floor. So I'm going to opt for down dog. If you have a sore wrist, you can wrap your fingertips around the block and bring the heel of your hand to the edge of your block. You really want to use the power of your forearms here. And now let's inhale forward to top of a push-up. I'm going to lower my knees down. And then lower the hips down, look up, come into a variation of upward facing dog. Then pushing back through tabletop and push back to downward facing dog. Let's do 3 more on your own, or any organic movement that feels good here that you want to explore.
So my down dog in this chair is I'm flexing my wrists and my ankles, my toes are up as if I'm pushing into a wall and I'm leaning forward, pulling my middle legs towards my spine, so I'm really activating. My body's still in the shape of a V. Then I pull the arms back, the shoulder blades back, chest forward for plank, the hands on the lap, bending the spine with the heart for cobra. And then relax.
And let's do as many as this feels good here, a little bit of organic movement. If there's something else you want to do here, by all means. If you want to lower all the way down through chaturanga and roll through cobra and push back to down dog, go ahead and take that option. If you're taking the option with the knee down and coming into an upward dog variation, perhaps you take your bottom back towards your heels, forehead to the floor, and move back through downward facing dog. But just play here. Just notice what feels good. Notice how your body moves. And let's do 2 more of whatever it is that you're doing. So we're just moving organically through the asana in ways that feel good in our body. Good. And when you're done, meet me back in tabletop position. From tabletop, we're going to move into a variation of side plank. So I'm going to move my blocks out of the way. And from tabletop position, I'm going to send my right leg back behind me, pivot and plant my right foot, and kickstand out my left toes to the left. Inhale, arm up to the sky. What are you offering, Jackie?
Excuse me, I brought my blocks to the left side of my chair. My left hand's reaching to the block. Right hand is reaching up to the sky. Right hand's extended side plank.
Beautiful. Exhale, release, come back to tabletop position, and let's do the second side. Now, if you prefer to do your variation of side plank, by all means go ahead, because we're going to alternate right and left here. So do 3 more on your own, whatever it is. So I want you to hold it for 2 breaths, whatever you decide. However you want to be in the pose is completely up to you. And I'm just showing you all the options that you can take here.
You can also let the legs float up for a little bit more coordination. Or just standing beside your chair, finding, side plank this way. My blanket slipped.
That's all right.
Also,
Keeping it real, Jackie.
I know. My blanket slipped. I started to fall.
So let's do 1 more on each side of whatever it is you're doing. And then meet me back either in tabletop position or downward facing dog position or seated position. Whatever works for you. Taking a few deep breaths here. And then making your way to seated with your legs stretched out in front of you. Nice job, everybody. We're almost there. Pressing out through your heels. And I like to do a manual inner spiral with my thighs, pulling the flesh back and away, pointing the toes to the sky. Bringing my hands alongside my body, I'm going to walk my fingertips forward until I feel a stretch in the back body. So if you have the proportions, the flexibility in your hamstrings, the flexibility in your back to grab your toes, go ahead. You can always loop a strap around your feet if you like, or you can just rest your hands on either side of your shin bones. But as long as you're feeling sensation in the body, that's all that matters. You may feel it in the low back, you may feel it in the back of your thighs, you may feel it any myriad of ways. So just breathe into the spaces where you feel a stretch. If you're feeling sharp shooting pain, back off. Your body's telling you something and you need to be safe with it and honor it. And then on the inhale, let's walk our hands back. We're going to take a wide-legged forward fold stretch. So I'm going to scoot back on my mat, take my legs out nice and wide as they feel comfortable. You may want to grab a bolster here to fold forward, or your blocks, whatever is handy. So now I like to press down into the back with my thighs, toes pushed up toward the ceiling. And I push the inner flesh of my thighs back and open, and then I lengthen forward with my collarbones, keeping my feet active. So the idea is that my kneecaps and my toes are pointing toward the ceiling. I'm pushing out through the back body. So sometimes we're sitting forward onto our hips. If we can just spiral the flesh of the inner thigh back, we can start to tilt the pelvis slightly forward and breathe. Good. Push out through the mound of the big toe if you can. Let's take a few deep breaths here. I'm just keeping an eye on the time. I'm very bad with that. Good. Inhale, lift the head and the heart, come up. And then I'm going to invite you to make your way into your final resting position. So whether you're seated in the chair or coming onto the mat on the floor, find a position that feels comfortable. I'm going to show you a couple of different ones. You have the option to lay on your side. So I'm laying on my right side, bringing my right arm up, using my right arm as a pillow for my head and bringing a block, meditation cushion or blanket between my thighs. You can lay on your back and bring the meditation cushion underneath your knees or your calves if that feels better. Or you can come back to seated. What are some of the options in the chair, Jax?
So I'm sitting in my chair today, and I brought a big yoga ball and a big exercise ball, and I have it underneath my legs to support underneath my knees. So it's nice and comfortable. You can lay on your back with your feet up on the seat of the chair. Another nice option is to take the bolster, lean forward, hips to your legs, and let the forehead rest on the bolster. Lots of different ways that you can still take a nice restful shavasana in the chair. Perfect.
So let's take a few moments here. We're coming up on 30 minutes. If you have to bolt, I understand. But if you can stay for a couple of minutes and just come back to your breath, that would be great. If you're choosing to do seated, you might even want to bring or tent your fingertips together. Let your forearms rest on your thighs, close your eyes, and just breathe. And you're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. And that's it for Jackie and I today. Thank you for joining us for this practice on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. We will be here every Wednesday for, I guess, as long as it takes, as long as we're in this together. So I hope you found this practice helpful. Please comment or reach out to us. Jackie is at Sunny Bee Yoga, all the way out there in Niceville, Florida. I'm here at Diane Bondi Yoga in Windsor, Ontario, Canada, and we're in this together on the interwebs in the world. So stay safe, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and if you have any requests for any classes that you would like Jackie or myself to do, we are happy to do that. You can also contact us on our social media pages. Jackie also has a YouTube channel, Sunny Bee Yoga. You can catch me on yogaforeveryone.tv, Yoga International, OmStars, Yoga Girl, and YouTube. I'm everywhere. I'm trying to take over the world. Jackie, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much, Dana. I love being a part of this. And please let us know what you need. We're here to serve you. We're happy to help in any way possible.
Absolutely. Stay safe, everybody. Namaste.